Hello and welcome to UPSCFEVER.com science video section. So we are starting with chapter number 3 of science, and this is on microorganisms. Right? So chapter number 3, microorganisms. Microorganisms are mainly of four types: bacteria, algae, protozoa and fungi. So a virus is not counted as a microorganism. A virus is only capable of reproduction inside a host organism. So that is a special property of a virus, that it cannot reproduce on its own and is dependent on a host organism, and this organism can either be a plant, it can be an animal, it can be a bacteria, it can be a fungi. So these are certain diseases caused by bacteria: tuberculosis, typhoid, cholera, diphtheria and plague. These are the diseases caused by a bacteria. Protozoan disorders are dysentery and malaria, and a fungi also can cause many diseases. Viral diseases are example is jaundice. So apart from this, also many other diseases are caused by viruses, but in this chapter only these are the many mentioned. An important type of bacteria is the Lactobacillus. This bacteria is found in curds, and it is the main reason by which milk turns into curds. And this is a chemical reaction which converts our milk into curds. So the bacteria responsible is known as Lactobacillus. Amoeba is a single-celled organism, and it has finger-like projection on its body. These are known as pseudopodia. And these finger-like projections help it capture food and put the food inside a food vacuole. A vacuole is a cell organelle, and many other organelles are there, which we shall cover in the next chapter. So these food vacuoles are used for storing the food particles which are captured by these organisms. After digestion of the food, the leftover matter is again expelled from the vacuole. Amoeba is a single-celled organism that reproduces asexually by a technique known as binary fission. So this binary fission is a technique used by amoeba. The next important fact given is that even a large part cell like the hen's egg is also actually a single cell. So size does not matter. Certain cells are very small, which are not visible to the naked eye, whereas certain cells can be seen by us. And the hen egg, the egg laid by a hen, is an example of a single cell that can be seen. Bacteria are found everywhere, including our mouth, and these bacteria break food and leave acid. So the acid that is left over from the breakdown of food by this bacteria is the reason for tooth decay. Tooth decay is caused when the pH, which is the acidity level of the mouth, goes below 5.5. So pH is on a scale of 0 to 14, and below 7 is the acidity scale, acid scale. So anything below 7 is known as acid. And when the pH of the mouth goes below 5.5, and the acid that is created is strong enough to cause tooth decay. Calcium phosphate is present in the enamel of the tooth, and it is the hardest substance present in our body. However, at 5.5 pH, even this calcium phosphate is dissolved by this acid, and this leads to tooth decay. So to prevent tooth decay, we use a basic substance known as toothpaste. So Toothpaste is basic in nature. It has a pH above 7 and it neutralizes this acid and thus prevents tooth decay. So the final point covered in this chapter is related to mosquitoes, which are the vectors, and the various diseases that are caused from mosquitoes. So one such disease is malaria, as we saw earlier that it is a disease caused by protozoans, and vector means a carrier for the disease. So the female Anopheles mosquito is a carrier of malaria parasite, whereas the female Aedes mosquito carries another deadly disease known as dengue, and it is a viral disease. So malaria is however caused by protozoa, whereas dengue is caused by a virus. Then there is a chapter review quiz at the end of this. Who carries malaria parasite? So you should be able to answer this question. The next question: the hardest substance in the human body is the enamel of teeth, which is made up of which of the following? The vacuole present in the cell organelle, is used for which purpose? The bacteria that turns milk into curds, the harmless bacteria that is responsible for curdling of milk, is which of the following? Finally, reproduction in amoeba is through which mode? So one of the four is the answer to that question. You should be confident enough by now to attempt our chapter review quiz. And if you need to note down all this, what I have taught in this class, then you can go to the science section of UPSCFEVER, chapter number 3, which is on microorganisms. So if you are clear with this chapter, then you can move ahead to the next part of the topic, but don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, or like or share our Facebook page. Thank you, stay tuned, see you next time.